does anyone still even remember this when it comes to Zebec? So did you know that the CEO of Zebec, which is called Simon, right? He's going to be attending a conference in Las Vegas pretty soon, actually, and it's actually going to be the largest of its kind in the world, allegedly. Now, nothing I say is financial advice, but I'm not joking. Simon, again, right? He's allegedly going to be attending the largest XRP conference in the world from April 30th to May 1st, 2026. Now, why do I even want to talk about this? Of course, I made a video on this when it was announced, but I feel like a lot of people forgot about it. And I feel like this right here is a pretty cool thing that I see because keep in mind, anytime now basically, because remember, like yesterday I made a video when it comes to Zebec and how they were talking about releasing this new announcement of a major partnership that they were going to be having, right? Again, we don't know yet, at least at the time of this recording, at least I don't know as of right now, but it may have already come out. But imagine whatever it is, that gets announced, and then that could maybe play a role, maybe, in terms of what Simon could talk about later in that conference, right? Because imagine, if he already has more things to talk about when it comes to Zebec leading up to that conference, that's going to be a good thing in my opinion, because again, he can have more conversations, talk about Zebec in a better way, in my opinion, and also, kind of show off a little bit, right? Maybe show off the resume, so to speak. Why not? That's the way to take a look at it. Now he's having more and more tools in the toolbox, in my opinion, to kind of talk about later when it comes to that conference. Keep in mind, in that conference, of course, there's going to be the CEO of Ripple, which is, of course, Brad Garlinghouse, right? I mean, another keynote speaker we take a look at, for instance, is the CPO of Solana. I mean, that's pretty cool. So again, of course, we take a look at Simon, who's the CEO of Zebec, probably not the most popular individual in that event because, again, there's a lot more famous individuals there. But at the same time, this is his chance to kind of let it be known what Zebec's all about, maybe in a bigger scale, in my opinion. So I do like seeing this, but we'll wait and see, when it comes to this. However, at the same time, people like to tell me that no one really cares about this type of nonsense, they like to say. But at the end of the day, I mean, if I take a look at Zebec, sure, it probably won't really do much as a result of the CEO attending some sort of conference like that. But at the end of the day, again, I don't think it's necessarily such a bad thing. I mean, if anything, it could only help it, right? It may not do much to the charts when it comes to ZBCN. However, not everything is meant to directly affect the charts. Sometimes it's more so about building relationships, having new connections, and also at the same time, letting the project be known. And then eventually the charts will do its thing later, right? But the fundamentals has to be there first, sometimes, in some cases. So if it could improve the fundamentals, maybe through a partnership or new, collaboration or whatever, why would that be a bad thing? It's like, for instance, if someone is good at a certain activity, if let's say they're an amazing athlete, eventually the endorsements, the sponsorships, they come later, right? But that comes as a result of them being so amazing and just very revolutionary in some cases. So the way you take a look at it is that it's kind of no different here. Sometimes a project, if they're doing so well, if the fundamentals are amazing, the good things, it happens later as a result. It'll follow along. That's the way you take a look at it. So yeah, when I take a look at something like Zebec, I feel like it's not such a bad thing if they, are going to be a part of a conference, or should I say Simon, supposedly again the largest of its kind in the world, which is again the XRP conference, which is from April 30th to May 1st in 2026. However, even besides that point though, I think ZBCN does kind of showcase something that's pretty interesting to me, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, because the market cap is around 200 million, so it's not a micro cap with a lot of random nonsense, right? Also, furthermore, it's not too massive in terms of market cap either, in which case we sometimes feel like, the ceiling is a little bit too close if the market cap's too massive. I don't see that here. Again, market cap, I think, is in that sweet spot around 200 million. Not too massive, not too, small either. It's just kind of that perfect balance, in my opinion, for me to believe in a project, even still despite the pullback, which again may seem kind of counterintuitive, but For dollar cost averaging reasons, why would I want ZBCN to be above 400 million or 300 million in terms of market cap simply for dollar cost averaging? That makes no sense to me. If anything, if it's below a 250 million market cap, below 300 million, like I'd actually like it more for dollar cost averaging. Now, for exiting, of course, it's not something I would like at all, but for dollar cost averaging, literally, the lower something is, the happier I'd be, again, for that purpose only. Do I want it to be that way forever? Absolutely not, but I'm saying, like, just for that specific, I guess, objective, right? You know, it's like, for instance, using a raincoat. It's good if it's raining, right? But if it's not, I don't know why I would use it for fun. Maybe just for, style purposes, I get that, but at the end of the day, it's like sometimes there's a certain vibe that is needed for a certain objective. If my intent is to dollar cost average, then yeah, it'd preferably be at a low of a point as possible. It's kind of like, again, using a raincoat when it's raining. I would like to use the raincoat when it's raining, but if it's not, then I wouldn't use it. You know, it's like having an appropriate time and place for a certain thing. That's the way to take a look at it. In which case, again, I feel like it's only appropriate if I dollar cost average when things are hypothetically having a pullback. That's just, again, my mindset. Now, personally, though, I mean, when it comes to Zebec, what is Simon going to really say in this conference, right? This supposed upcoming conference? I mean, I have no idea. But at the same time, I feel like in case he maybe is watching my videos, I mean, we'll wait and see. But I'm saying, in case, I'd like him to talk more about, the super app, and also kind of maybe brag a little bit, right? Maybe kind of show off a little bit when it comes to how Circle, which is the creator of USDC, allegedly holds a big amount of ZBCN. Why not? I'd keep pressing that right there. I'd keep saying, oh, you know what? Circle, the creator of USDC, they hold this much ZBCN. They allegedly hold a big amount. I'd keep saying that. Adds credibility sometimes, in my opinion, indirectly, right? It's like how some people like to say, oh, I knew this celebrity, I knew this actor or whatever. Sometimes people say that. In which case, why do they say that in some cases? I mean, of course, they have different reasons, but sometimes they want to just, showcase that, they've had, these amazing friendships. Why not? That's the way to take a look at it. It's like, for instance, I'm going to show off a little bit myself. Take a look at my G-Shock, the GW5000HS I got in Japan. A little bit of a flex right there, actually. A subtle flex. But yeah, besides that point, though, I'm going to stay patient. I'm not telling anyone to do anything because I'm still holding. But you know what? If they actually do announce their quote-unquote upcoming major partnership, I'll be sure to make a video on that. However, again, only time will tell. So yeah, that's been pretty much it for today's video. I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice day. It's Willie the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.